What's up, guys? Today I'm going to do a review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I have watched the movie 2 times. I haven't watched Quantumania 2. No, I did not watch Quantumania 2 times. Quantumania I watched once. I watched No Way Home 2 times, yeah. It never disappointed at all. And this movie was so good that my father, because every time we go watch a movie with my family, my father would sleep at some parts of the movie. Like for Guardians, he did not close his eyes at all. He watched it throughout the whole film, and my family were even very shocked because they were not a big fan of Guardians of the Galaxy, because the first one, like, they were okay, but the second one they didn't really like it, especially my mother. She didn't really like it. And I personally love the Guardian films. However, to me, Iron Man is still in my heart. I mean, still in my how do I say it? It's still in my heart, and I still think that they're done not overly a very perfect story, but it's a good way of showing Iron Man. That's why his trilogy is quite in the high ranking for me as compared to other people. But Guardians of the Galaxy, just because the flaws in this movie are barely there. I mean, it can be quickly forgiven. I don't really remember what are those flaws are, but I'm I'm going to talk about them. But overall, Guardians of the Galaxy is a movie that you must watch in cinemas. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is really sad, but really fun and exciting, and exciting at the same time. And because this is the last time that you're gonna see the Guardians together, and I mean, you're gonna see the Guardians for the very last time in this particular iteration. So it's even more heartwarming, or how can I say, like, it's a little bit sad to see them go. And even the ending was made perfect. I mean, it's an ending that no one expected to be, because everyone thought that someone would die. And I'm gonna spoil, and here's gonna be a spoiler review, of course. So from here, if you haven't watched the movie, what are you doing? Just go and watch the freaking movie. It's a really good movie. I prefer this more than any other. I prefer this more than Avatar. Anyway, The Way of Water, okay? The Way of Water, okay? The first one was okay. So anyway, here we go. Now, the flaws for the movie is I have included the helmet, and I personally don't want to see. It's okay that the jet boots that Star-Lord wears, I think that is not really important. Like, I think because there's a James Gunn replied that James Gunn's the director, replied that uh he left his gear, because if you watch the movie, Star-Lord never brings his helmet or his jet boots, yeah. And that actually really affected at the end of the movie, because we all know that Star-Lord almost died for staying in space too long, and he didn't have his helmet to help him breathe, and he didn't have his jet boots to fly. So I think they should have included that a little bit. Like, maybe you could destroy it at the middle of the film, because I really wanted to see the helmet and the boots with that uniform. The uniform of the Guardians was perfect, but it was almost perfect with Star-Lord. It wouldn't if they just included the helmet. But it was not a big thing, because it still managed to he still managed to look cool as ever. But that is the one thing I'm still waiting for to see, is that his helmet. Like, if I were to get a Lego minifigure of him, I would definitely buy a helmet for him too. But that's the only flaw I have. And now we're gonna get to the best parts. Now, first of all, Rocket's story. Now, that was really sad. That actually made us tear up. When you watch the movie second time, since you know what comes, it's even more heartbreaking. Because on the first time I watched, when Lila gets shot, it was so unexpected. It was like a jump scare, and the way the High Evolutionary just mocks Rocket for crying. It's like, oh my god, it's like it's not enough. It's still way pain. It's still more pain. That's what I should say. Sorry. And just to watch that is so sad, and like it really changed the tone of the movie way more, because the movie when it because it's talk the movie is talking about Rocket's story, and there are some people complaining that the High Evolutionary is not included a lot now. I mean, he was, but it's not included like as a villain should be shown. Now, overall, High Evolutionary was a great villain. He's a great villain, not worse. He's a great villain. I think he is hands down one of the top 3 greatest villains. I think he's next to Thanos, and there's another great villain that I really liked. I don't know. I think he's at my top 4 or top 3. The High Evolutionary is at my top 4 and top 3. He was such a menace, and I do agree that this is what Kang should be, and Kang is just did so dirty. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I said that Quantumania was good, but I gave it a 7 out of 10. But Guardians of the Galaxy just puts Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania into shame, and it just overall a 10 out of 10, because it really expressed the feelings that this is really the Guardians' last time, and this is how the Guardians are going to break up. It's a beginning to the end of a and then the end has a new beginning. So it's really, and since Rocket's story ends off with him becoming the the captain of the Guardians of the Galaxy, because Star-Lord will go back to Earth, meeting with his grandfather at the end of the movie. I think now personally, when I saw that Peter Quill, Star-Lord, goes back to Earth, I immediately knew that they are definitely setting him up for a future movie or project, because we all know that Kang Dynasty, or maybe if they're gonna change the villain or the Avengers title, the Avengers 5 it's coming soon, maybe in 2 more years, and we all know that it's gonna be a whole Infinity War again. And definitely what will happen in this movie, what I think will happen, is that Star-Lord will be there, but the Guardians, I don't think they will be there. The Guardians will be featured in Secret Wars. They will save them for Secret Wars, and Star-Lord will be the one trying to find the Guardians and to get them back together. But not all of them, maybe some of them. Maybe Mantis will come back. And I hope Nebula would come back, because Nebula was such a cool character. And Drax, I think his story arc was also it also was did perfectly. Now, overall, this movie did not do any character dirty at all. It's that this is what the movie is so special, and what stands out among the whole MCU is that the characters in this movie are not done dirty at all. They are seriously, and personally, Drax is one of the best. And a father who has his daughter and wife killed by Ronan, which is from Guardians 1, and Ronan is being controlled by Thanos, so Drax has a personal vendetta against the two of them. And to see him going to a revenge way, going out for revenge, and coming back as a father, as a father figure again for all the how could I call them, the half humans, the human looking people from the High Evolutionary place. I don't know what you're gonna call them, but yeah, I think that was really done perfectly, and I like the way that they showed Drax doing the monkey monkey what do I say, the monkey thing that he said. Oh my god, I'm running out of words. I'm just too blown away. the monk that he starts playing like a monkey, which is actually a robot. I think that was also really, that actually was so heartwarming to see him do that. And Drax, I can see why but how do you say his name? Dave Bautista is trying to quit the role. Is quitting the role of Drax because, uh, if you compare him from the first movie to this new one, he does not go shirtless, and he also is also growing old. So I think that Drax should be cameoed. I don't think he should come back and fight again. I think they should leave his story like that. But I don't know how they're gonna continue. If they're gonna continue and Nebula's gonna come back, I think in Kang Dynasty or Secret Wars, Nebula would go and ask Drax to take care of Nowhere. And yeah, that's how Nebula would come back to the MCU. Well, that's what I think. And Mantis also has another great end to her character of the Guardians 3, the trilogy, because she was introduced all the way in 2016, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And she does have a point. She's been doing what Ego says, she's been doing what the Guardian says, and now she just want to find her own passion. And yeah, I do really want to see what she's gonna do with that, but leave it up to Marvel for doing that. I mean, personally, I think they did that was another great ending for her. And now we go on to Nebula. Nebula is just was done way perfectly. I think in the whole movie she's my because they're my top three best ending for the character, for any characters in the Guardians of the Galaxy. And because we all know from the first movie to Guardians Volume 2 to Infinity War, she's a very soulless person, very depressed and just wanted a sister. And when she got that in Volume 2, she managed to sober up a little bit. Oh no, not sober up. Oh man, she managed to gain some parts of humanity. And Infinity War she lost her friends. She lost Gamora, the original Gamora, and it gave her more life. And to see in this movie is actually the first time she cried, because we know that the Guardians are all snapped away from the universe except Nebula and Rocket. So when Rocket was alive, because he almost died, we all know, for those who watch the movie, and she actually cried, and that was the first time we all seen her cry on screen. And it was, when I saw her cry, I was like so surprised, like, wow, this is the first time she's crying. And it gave her emotion. Yeah, she regained all her emotion. And at the end of the movie, she doesn't want to become part of the Guardians with Drax too, and she and Drax will lead the new life form in Nowhere, because we all know at the end of the movie, the high evolutionary ship has bunch of living organisms, and they transfer all the organisms before the ship explode to Nowhere. So that was also done perfectly. And then we have Star-Lord, my top two, but overall he's my favorite Guardian because of his gear and all from the first movie. I think he was really cool. He was like my Iron Man of the Avengers. So now Star-Lord was done also perfectly for this movie. I think he has the best look among all the Guardians. I like the way he looks. I like the way his hair was done. I like the way that he is still is thinking about Gamora, and I like the way how the past Gamora is still somewhere in the universe, because I really thought she went back at in Endgame. So Star-Lord was my top two best character ending. His end was to go back to his grandfather, and I'm surprised that the grandfather even still remembers him, especially he was kidnapped when he was 8. Or is it 7? I don't know. But uh that was really well heartwarming, and I love the way he still plays the music, and the soundtrack was perfect in this movie. Not I think it is a tie between volume 1 and volume 3. Volume 2 is just a little bit like just a little bit down. However, it's just a little bit because volume 1 and volume 3 has more impact compared to volume 2. So the soundtracks are really perfect, and it makes Star-Lord even better. Now we now Star-Lord, I hope I really was hoping for his helmet and boot and his jet boots, but that's the only problem I have. And now we go on to past Gamora. Now past Gamora, it was a good idea to not put her back with Star-Lord, because he has to let go of the past, which is another great addition, and I think they also done that perfectly. And I think the actor doesn't want to play Gamora anymore. Zoe Saldana doesn't want to play her anymore, but I do really want to see her again. Maybe in a different way, but yeah, because she is Star-Lord's like Spider-Man and MJ, and this is Star-Lord and Gamora. So it's really, well, it wasn't heartbreaking to see that Gamora wouldn't be with Star-Lord, because you know that she is not gonna remember. She is not the girl that was from what Star-Lord is used to, and Star-Lord kinda just knew that. And yeah, so what I think is, past Gamora was just there to settle the whole thing, to just there to help the Guardians, and especially help Star-Lord to go through, to let go of her. And I think because some movies, they are like, I'm gonna use this character to just do something and then just let it go, and just let it go. Like, they didn't do that. Like, they did do that for Gamora, but they didn't do it like, they didn't do it dirty, and they did it perfectly actually. And yeah, and then we got Rocket's story, which I already said. It's very sad, and the three of them, Lila, Thieves, and Flo, man, that is just my god. I personally, it's really it's a good story to tell about Rocket. It was so sad. And the High Evolutionary, what a menace, man. You just hate him. I don't like, the High Evolutionary does not have a point at all. Like, Thanos has a point. The High Evolutionary is like what Rocket say. He just hated the things the way they are. And yeah, what a great villain. There are some rumors going around that he's still alive. So if he's still alive, I hope he comes back and just terrorizes the New Guardians. Now we go on to Adam Warlock, the the Golden Boy. Adam Warlock, oh, his intro was already one of the best parts of the film. So I can't complain about that, because Adam Warlock was such a cool character. His costume somehow. And overall, because there are people complaining that he has too less of a screen time. Come on, you have a whole team of Guardians. You can't expect them to be fair, because you gotta end off the original team. And soon the new team will come up, and that's where they get their own time. So for Cracklin and Cosmos, almost it's also the same thing. But I like how they tell the story of, the good dog, bad dog. And that was just a nice thing to add. And Cracklin at the end was really good. I mean, although he was just there for a little bit and while, but when he's there, it's just done. At the front parts, of course, he's just saying stuff, but at the end, he just did perfectly, especially with Yondu coming back. And yeah, they managed to bring him back for the third movie, even though he died for the second movie. And then Cosmo is just cute. I mean, Russian dog, but oh yeah, I forgot Groot. Yeah, we gotta get Groot in there. Now Groot, I really like the last part of the. I really like that he says I love you guys at the end. Now I'm very sorry for leaving Groot out just now, but I'm putting him back in here. All right, stop being angry. Now I really like where where Groot starts to talk normally. That shows how we already understand his language, and I don't know, because I do like him saying I am Groot, I am Groot, I am Groot, but so I don't know how they're going to. So I think he's gonna talk normally in the rest of the in the future movies and series. So Groot, I like the way he opened his wings, the wing where he opens his wings to help Star-Lord. I think that was a really cool idea, because when I was watching, I was sitting beside my brother. My brother's like, they're gonna jump out a window. What are you gonna do? Oh no! My friend. The second time I watched it was with my friends. So my friend beside me was like, bro, they jumped off the building. How are they gonna survive? And then I told him, just watch. And then his bag just starts to open, and my friend's like, oh wow, and just seeing his reaction was like, so yeah, Groot was. And then at the end of the movie, the credits, he becomes King Groot. I was like unexpected at all. I don't know what he was rubbing in his chin. I like the ship, which is called the Bowie. I like the ship, the way the ship was moving. Damn. And again, the soundtracks, Since You've Been Gone, In the Meantime, Reasons, it's really good. I've been listening to them after the movie came out. I've been searching the songs, and please, to those who never watch it, just watch, because it's seriously good. It can rival Endgame. I mean, it totally did better than No Way Home, because it had a better story, it had a better expression, and it's the power of the movie was way more. Although even No Way Home did almost the same thing, but still, Guardians did it better. And this definitely just went to my top 2 best trilogy in the MCU. And yeah, it could rival with my Captain America trilogy, because Iron Man is still, nothing can beat Iron Man, because I love Iron Man. But yeah, guys, to those who never watched the movie, you definitely should watch, because Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is the last time that everyone gets to see the Guardians back together. Because if they're gonna come back together, it won't be in a Guardians movie. If they're gonna come back together, because you're not gonna see another Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 4. You're not gonna see a Volume 4. If you're gonna see a Volume 4, I don't think it'll be called Volume 4. Because at the end of the movie, we all know the best part of the movie was Rocket, Groot, King Groot, Phyla-Vell, whatever you call the girl, Adam Warlock, Kraglin, and Cosmo, which they're all wearing the new Guardian suit, which I really loved. And except King Groot, because he shouldn't wear, he never wears anything. And they're playing the song, Coming at Your Love. And I teared up for that, because the movie came out in 2014, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, I was only 7 years old, no, 6 years old. And I just, at that point, it was 1 year after Iron Man 3, which was my favorite Iron Man movie out of all. Because although the story was a bit cheesy, I mean, I don't know what you call it cheesy, it was a little bit messy, not as messy as Love and Thunder. It's a very underrated movie. And after that, you watch the Guardians, like a whole new fresh thing to watch, and you see Star-Lord dancing to the song, and you see the Guardians, and 9 years later, you see the new Guardians team listening to the song, and to hear it again in a Guardians movie is really heartwarming. It's been 9 or 10 years since. It's been 10 years that they have filmed the Guardians 1, and to be included in this film is just, seriously, that was for me the best scene ever. That would always make me tear up because Rocket says that this one's a little bit special, and when he plays it, the drum just go ta, 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 ta. And my eye, it's just right now I'm gonna tear up too. I mean, my heart just like went big. I'm like, oh, what a great end. It's Guardians 3 is perfect treat. Really, you guys should watch. So we have a new that's all I could say about Guardians 3. I can keep on going because it's such a great film, because this the movie, it's way better than No Way Home. It can rival Endgame, but it can't be better than, but it's not better than Infinity War. But still, you should see what the High Evolutionary gets at the end of the movie. That was really satisfying. And now I'm gonna do the outros. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please go and watch Guardians of the Galaxy. And I'm sorry for not uploading a platform SMP video because we were all too busy in exams and everything. But I hope that there'll be one this week, because last week I didn't upload, so I'm sorry for that. But I hope you guys would enjoy watching this video and look forward to the platform SMP series and a new movie coming out, The Marvels. Let's see. I really hope that would do justice to Captain Marvel, because personally, I did enjoy. I did not love it. I enjoyed Captain Marvel, but I hope the Marvels will do better. So see you guys in the next video. Go and watch the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Come on, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Just watch all 3 of the films, and Infinity War and Endgame.